It's Thanksgiving, bitches.
Welcome to Thanksgiving. Sort of. Look, here's the plan for today. We're gonna take you through the entire Thanksgiving meal, start to finish. By the time we're done with you, you're going to be able to make a beautiful turkey, delicious, perfect mashed potatoes, sausage stuffing, these maple carrots that you could die for, and a gravy that is fit for a king or us, regular people. Look, here's the thing. You have to start early. And starting early is not early the morning of Thanksgiving. It's a few days before. Well, let me show you why. See that? That's a turkey. Hear this? That's a frozen turkey. This is why you have to start early. A, because you can't cook a frozen turkey. And B, because the best thing you can do to the turkey before you put it in the oven is to brine it. It makes it more tender. It makes it more flavorful. So you need a day for the brining. And the frosting of the turkey, really there's only two options. The first is you defrost it in the refrigerator. You take this out of the freezer, you put it in the refrigerator, and here's what it needs. In the refrigerator, a turkey will thaw at 4 pounds for every 24 hours. If you got a 12-pound turkey, do the math, that's 3 days. The other option is cold water thawing, and that is 30 minutes for every pound of turkey. So that same 12-pound turkey, Chance, how long is that gonna take?
30 minutes for every pound?
30 minutes for every pound, which means with a 12-pound turkey,
we're usually not paying attention to what you say. Just
6
so you know.
hours. No, you stop talking. 6 hours. So look, if you're absolutely jammed up, back against the wall, you got to have a turkey in cold water. But that means you take this, you put it in a bucket or a cooler, you submerge it in cold water, change that water every 45 minutes. 30 minutes for every 1 pound. So it's a 6-hour thaw. You can do it, but here's the thing. You want to brine it. So you need your turkey completely thawed by the day before. So I say you start on the Sunday. However you're gonna do it, give yourself enough time. And remember, once it's thawed, it can sit in your fridge for 3 days. So there's no worry about anything going bad, right? Frozen turkey needs to be defrosted. Once it's defrosted, it needs to be brined. And that actually we shot a day ago. Only one place to start, and that has to be with the turkey. Hope you're excited, because I am, because this is step 1. No, take that back. It's step 2. You needed to have defrosted it, but we've talked about that. So at this point, here you are. You have a fully defrosted turkey that you're ready to deal with, and we're now going to spatchcock this little fellow, because I think that's the best way to do it. We've talked about it. Let's see exactly what you've got once you've taken the turkey just out of the bag that it came in. That's the kid. Let's get him off of here. Look, if you're squeamish about this kind of stuff, have somebody else in your family do it. Go find a buddy. It's a basic turkey. This kid's 10 pounds. He's got a blemish here. Roasting will take care of that. And his legs have been hog-tied. They've just used some of this loose skin down here. So undo the legs. Remember, it's just a big-ass chicken. Now, if you reach inside, you're gonna find this. What is this? Chance.
Gizzard?
It's the neck. It's the neck.
Is that the same thing?
It's not the same thing. Gizzard is a gizzard. So that's all you should probably find in there, in like the big giant cavity. But now you have to come up to this part. This would be where the neck would be. And now in here, Chance, is a bag of stuff. Giblets, the heart, that kind of stuff.
So many secret compartments.
There really are. But you need to know that this is going to be here. Honestly, I'm sure you could Google the number of times people have cooked the turkey with this inside it. You can't cook it frozen. You can't cook it with inside it. I'm not even going to open it up because you don't need to deal with that part. But just let me say, the neck is perfect for making our pan sauce, our gravy.
It's perfect
for making our gravy better. So we'll hang on to this. But now this is what you've got. And our goal now in spatchcocking is to remove the backbone, which is here. Runs about 1 inch wide all the way down the back. So do this. We're fans of Omaze. Omaze gives away one-of-a-kind prizes and experiences, and the money goes to worthy charities. Remember when we were in Miami? Remember the house in Miami, boys?
Yeah.
We shot in Miami. It was so much fun. Okay, do you want to see what you can enter for your chance to win this time? Hold on to your shorts, because this is a $4.3 million home in Los Angeles. It's a modern farmhouse. It's 5 bedrooms, 6 baths. It's 5,800 square feet. In-home movie theater, pool, basketball court, putting green. There's an open concept kitchen. I love the dark cabinets. And the main bedroom suite, come on now. Fireplace, walk-in closet, soaking tub, oversized shower. You can live the LA fantasy life you've always wanted to live. And by the way, you get an option of either having the house or a multi-million-dollar cash prize instead. And the charity is called Rebuilding Together. They're dedicated to repairing the homes of veterans, people with disabilities, and neighbors with low income to help keep our communities intact. What do you have to do? Let me tell you, because it's very simple and so affordable. You donate $10 for your chance to win this $4.3 million home in Los Angeles. Who wouldn't do that? You can click the link below, or you can go to omaze.com/STCG. That's OMAZE.com/STCG. Get going. $10 for your chance to win that. You gotta be nuts if you don't. You're gonna want mass quantities of paper towels when you start this process. Gonna have to get them really dry anyways. But for now, the most important thing is getting him in a position where he's stable, where he's comfortable, and where we now can take shears and cut out the backbone. So this is best done with a good pair of kitchen shears or shears you'd use in your garden. So you can see, here's the backbone. It's about this wide. We're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna cut. And as we go, you're gonna be hearing bone crunch and all kinds of bits. And that's okay. Just up you go. The sound is kind of horrifying to me, but it has to happen. Remember, what is this? It's a big chicken. Don't be scared about anything. Look at that. There's the inside of the turkey.
Okay, we don't need to see that. Definitely not from this side.
People need to see this, Max. They must know what's going on here. We're almost there. We have one more side to go. So now I like to just turn it, find it easier to work this way, and continue up. If you've ever gone to that chiropractor and had them work on your neck, it's a bit like that. Like little scissors that you're cutting your wrapping paper with for the holiday is not gonna work. And that's it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a backbone, just like ours, except way smaller, and it's turkeys. This also will aid in the making of great soup. But now let's look at what we've got and get more paper towels to do it. So now we're gonna come back. We're drying as we go. Get rid of this inside yuck. Everybody's good. Okay, while we're here, let's do this. This little piece down here is referred to as the Pope's nose. I don't know why, but we don't need it. So this, goodbye. Now you take your friend, and we're gonna turn him over, and now we wanna open him up like a book. And the best way to do this, once he's here, legs this way, is you're gonna take your hands, what's that, Heimlich, not the Heimlich. What do you do when you're putting a...
Chest compression.
We're basically gonna do one giant chest compression on this guy. And I like to do it with a paper towel because I find it very slippery. So we'll put him on here, and you wanna push down on 3. 1, 2, 3. That's the sound you're going for. Max took his headphones off.
I didn't want to hear that.
He didn't want to hear that. But here, it's all about leveling the turkey playing field. So what have you got? You've got a flat turkey that now is going to cook evenly. The legs, the breast, the whole thing. You know, that round version, imagine cooking a football in the oven. The top, of course, is going to get way more heat attention than the bottom. That's what we don't want. So now we dry them, because one of the benefits of dry brining like this, along with making it more tender and flavorful, is getting crispy skin. And water is not going to help you with that. So take your paper towels. I bet they sell more paper towels at Thanksgiving than any other time of the year. That's my guess. So we dry them. And now the dry brining process begins with one thing, and that's salt. And we'll put a little bit of salt, kosher salt. We're not using table salt, folks. A little bit of salt on the inside. We're saving most of it for the outside. All right. So now we take our buddy, we flip him back over, and we get this part super dry. Now we come back with our kosher salt. Look at this. It's like that turkey's doing friggin' yoga. And we're using a tablespoon of kosher salt for about every 4 pounds of turkey. This is 10 pounds, so I've got what I've got. And we just sprinkle away. Don't forget this part here, the thigh, the leg, top, bottom. When you got your guy like this, You got your salt on them. Bring over a baking sheet, preferably that has a rack on top of it. You want to keep the turkey off the deck, and then we're just going to lift them up. You've seen these on those medical shows when they get somebody on the gurney and they have to go onto the operating table. It's like this. Okay, everybody on 3. 1, 2, 3. He's fine like this. We'll deal with the position of the wings when we go to cook them, but for now, this is all you have to do. You can say adios to this kid. You're going to see him on Thanksgiving morning. Goodbye. And after the dry brining, our friend looks like this. Looks kind of old, doesn't it? Dry skin, dry skin, dry skin. That's okay, that's exactly what you want. We want to put something on this before we put it into the oven, and that's going to be some butter with some sage, rosemary, and thyme. Just like the song. Look, you could put oil on the outside of your turkey, but I do like butter. So just get a little bit of each. A little bit of the rosemary. Pulled off, you don't need too much. Some of the sage, and then the thyme, you just strip these leaves off by going backwards like this, or picking them. I think in cookbooks they say 1 tablespoon of picked thyme. Kind of a pain in the butt. And if you didn't have fresh, you're so welcome to use dry, but we have fresh because this is going to be used in our broth too. So this is the time to go for fresh. All right, these guys will just chop up like this. We add this to the butter and we mix. When you got it mixed nice, part way, add a bunch of pepper to it because pepper is always a welcome addition to anything. And we're not adding salt, Max, because
It's already salted.
it's already salted. The brining process is taking care of that for us.
Thank you, Briony.
And now, it's a simple matter of putting this on this. And how do you think we're going to do that, Max?
Well, with our hands.
Nope, I brought out a brush. Just for you. So just start your painting. You want the inside track here, so do this. And all on here. This is the thigh. Get the leg. Breasts, of course. Inside the arm, arm, outside, then just continue. Lastly, we're going to take these wing tips and tuck them underneath, just so they don't become a hindrance during the cooking process. Wings in place. Everybody's greased and buttered. All right. My oven is at 425 degrees. Look, you wouldn't cook a round whole turkey at that temperature because the top would just get blasted and become a cracker, and that's not really what you want. You can use higher heat because we've spatchcocked, because it's going to cook evenly and beautifully. So 425 degrees, this is probably going to take somewhere around 7 to 8-ish minutes per pound. Look, we're not going to just go by that. We're going to check the temperature in the breast, and when it's 160 degrees, we'll pull it out, we'll tent it loosely, and it will rise another 5 or 6 degrees, thereby giving you a beautifully cooked and safe turkey to eat. So I'll put this in the oven, we'll monitor it, but now we'll move on to the next part, which will be mashed potatoes. Arguably the most popular side dish, mashed potatoes, and here we go. Mashed potatoes are going to start with, believe it or not, potatoes. These are peeled Yukon Gold potatoes. When you peel them, you put them into water to keep them from browning. You don't want that, that's ugly. But now, all we're going to do is we're going to take them. You've heard me give this speech before. We're going to cut them into even-sized pieces. It doesn't matter what size the pieces are. What matters is that they're roughly the same size, because when you go to cook them, similar size things cook at this similar time. So as long as they're all about this, right? So we're good. These are going to go into a pot of water right here, like this. We'll cut the rest and put them in. The rest goes in. We put in a big pinch of salt. We let it come to a boil. Once it does, we give it about 15 minutes so they're nice and soft. You can poke a fork into. And while that's happening, let's make the delicious part that will help make these potatoes fantastic. This is very simple. It's only 2 things. 3/4 of a cup of whipping cream and a 1/4 cup of butter. Oh, there's going to be some salt and pepper later on, but for now, this is great. And if you want, you could add a little garlic powder to this. Boys, yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's give it an optional, like a 1/2 teaspoon. And then now you're just waiting for the butter to melt. By the way, garlic powder, yes. You don't want to use it, don't use it. You want to put roasted garlic in, put roasted garlic in. And once the butter melts and becomes one with the cream and the garlic, you just take it off the heat and leave it for the potatoes to be ready. And when the potatoes are soft enough that you can do that easily, great. We drain them, put them back on the heat for a second to get the excess moisture out, and then we rice them. And a potato ricer, if you haven't seen it, is like a giant garlic press with holes in the bottom. You simply take some potato, put it inside, and give it a squeeze, and you get this. Potato that comes out like little pieces of rice. And this is going to give you the smoothest, most wonderful mashed potatoes ever. Continue till you're done. And when you're finished, it's time for the cream. Remember our gorgeous cream, garlic and butter? And it goes, and we mix. And what you end up with are the absolute creamiest, most delicious, perfect mashed potatoes ever. Time for a little salt and pepper. And this would be when the purists would be throwing in white pepper, which I don't like and I don't want it because they don't want those little flecks of black, but I'm okay with them, really okay. What absolutely, positively is my favorite side at Thanksgiving, stuffing. And wait to see what we do with it. All right, it's time to make stuffing, and we begin with about 3/4 pound of, I like spicy Italian sausage, but you can use sweet, you can use anything you want. You could use breakfast sausage. In fact, they make a sage breakfast sausage that's pretty good. So just drop chunks of this in here. We're gonna want this guy cooking beautifully. So in one pan this happens, and in the other pan goes 1 cup or 2 sticks of butter, and 2. Now look, I know it looks like a lot of butter, but this is pretty traditional stuffing 101. And I use a bag stuffing like this. We're following the directions to make the stuffing for the most part. This is additional. You could use a non-meat based sausage if you wanted to. Not sure why you'd want to, but you could. So this just gets a little love, break it up along the way. And when the butter's mostly melted, we add in our vegetables, onion and celery, and mix this. Let this start to soften, 5 minutes. And when the sausage is cooked through, take it off the heat. We're gonna use it in a minute. And when the veggies are softened, we can start to assemble. Here's how this goes together. 1 12-ounce bag of stuffing. This is the cornbread version because I like it. Now our vegetables that we've just sauteed lovingly go in. Stuffing.
Butter.
Now 1 3/4 cups chicken broth. Chancey, could you use water if you didn't have chicken broth?
I don't know about that. I think chicken broth would be a lot better.
Take a guess, yes or no?
Are you asking can or should? They're different questions.
I said, can you? No, you can't. Never. Only use chicken broth.
It'll explode if you use water.
And we mix. I get butter all up into my nose right here. I know it seems like a lot, but you need this moisture to make this thing perfecto. So I like to get this mixed a bit. I'm gonna add some dried sage, about a big tablespoon of it because it just does everything fantastic for Thanksgiving. About a teaspoon of dried thyme, like this. I'm gonna mix a little bit more. Next, my sausage, and that will look like this. Could I have used the whole pound of it? Yes. Would it have made a difference? Not really, but the last time I did it, I felt like there was just a little too much sausage. And I know some people are gonna say, can there ever be too much sausage? Well, I think this is the right amount. So at this point, you're gonna wanna taste it for seasoning for everything. So just try some without sausage first, a little bite. A little salt and pepper, magnificent. And let's put it in our bowl to go into the oven. And that will look like this. All right, there you go. Oven directions, 350, covered in foil for 40 minutes. Take the foil off, give it 15 more minutes, let it get kind of nice on top. Start checking the turkey about halfway through, and if you find it's browning a little too quickly, just cover those parts with foil. I also like to add a little vermouth to the pan to help with the pan juices. And at the end of our cooking time, that's what we've got. Here's the importance of getting the wingtips underneath, because I didn't do a very good job, and this kid went a little rogue on me. But it's okay. Oh, look, a little piece of turkey. Ow, that should be eaten. It's beautiful. Yeah. Yes, some people like Brussels sprouts. I think they're pretty good. But these maple carrots, this is what you want. It's carrot time, and look at this selection. Beautiful, purple, white, yellow, orange, all of it. So, super hot pan, olive oil, and in go the carrots. Now, we're gonna do these in a couple batches. You just wanna get them in here, getting some color on them. Some of these guys are really being very cooperative. Thank you, everybody. like this kid. Thank you. Just get them all covered with a little bit of the oil. Keep them moving. And we're gonna give them, 5 minutes. You can see, look at the oranges. The orange ones have really started to pop in color, which is beautiful. That's the longest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's what she said?
Yes, Chancey.
So give them about 5 minutes like this, and then we add a couple things that help them become magnificent. At this point, I promise 2 things. One is maple syrup, a couple tablespoons. Lovely. And about 2/3 of a cup of water. In they go. Leave them until most of the water goes away and they're lovely and caramelized. And when they're crisp, tender, ow, it's hot. You can poke a fork in, but there's still some bite to it. Take them out. Ow, put them in a bowl. We're gonna season these guys with a little salt and pepper. Repeat the process for as many more as you need. But these are gonna be insane. And there's one thing that ties everything at Thanksgiving together. That's the gravy, and we're gonna make the best one. Okay, it's gravy time, and who remembers this? Max, your favorite part, Chance? If you didn't see the beginning, which I'm guessing you did, here you go. There you got your basic backbone and your basic turkey neck, which are lovely. What was that movie? Wait, the thing comes out of the woman's stomach in the...
Alien?
This looks
It
like the
does
thing
look
that
like
comes
an
alien like this.
And,
Yeah!
and that neck looks like a dick.
Whose dick? Doesn't look like my dick. All right, but to take advantage of these, they're too big. We're gonna cut them up. So take a knife, just cut these guys up. Hold on. I see splatter coming.
Oh god.
I don't really want to get splattered, so stand
Move out of
by.
the splash zone.
So now just cut these guys like that, and the. Suddenly I feel like a
Wait, well, who's that one?
rabbi.
Who's that woman that chopped her husband's dick off?
Oh, Lorraine,
Bobbitt.
it was
Lorraine
Lorena
Bobbitt.
Bobbitt. All right, our pot is beside us. It's warm. Let's put some oil in, and then our body parts. Then the turkey business. And you know, like when we made short ribs, we browned them first to help increase the flavor. That's what we're doing here. Just want a little color on these guys. What a disgusting little collection of stuff. As gross as this is, it's gonna give you big flavor. And if you don't want to do it, you can leave this out because there is chicken stock coming along that will be a good flavor, but let it happen. And when they've got some color, tiny bit more oil, and in goes some veggies. Some carrot, some celery, some onion chopped up. Give this 5 minutes. So at this point, we add a few things. We add some sage, some rosemary, and some thyme, just like that. We add a 1/4 cup of white wine or vermouth, like that. And we add a quart or 4 cups chicken broth. We wait for it to come to a boil. We turn it down to a simmer, and we let it reduce for about a half an hour. Time for gravy. One thing first, it's called a fat separator. Remember the pan that our turkey was on? Well, here it is, and all this is super deliciousness that we don't want to get rid of. Not that much, so we'll pour it in here. If this will work properly for me. It might not, because I don't have enough shit. I don't need shit, I just needed, I'll show you. So once it goes in, what happens is that the fat rises to the top, and when you pour the liquid out, it's pulling from the bottom, so you're not getting the fat that's in the liquid. So we'll just let this sit for a minute, and we'll carry on. Our next move is this. Little pot, little strainer. Remember this? The necks, the backs, the whole thing. The dicks. We want to strain out the solids from this. You want all of this. This is going to be very important to our work here today, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. All right, that you can get rid of. So this now is the gold that we will make our gravy with. We start with a roux, that's another pan, and that's over here. And that starts with butter and fat. And if you've forgotten or don't know, a roux is just a way to thicken stuff, a sauce. Okay, we're melted. Flour goes in over the top, and we mix. Now this is important. You want this smooth, because if you don't have this smooth, what are you gonna have? Max?
Lumpy gravy.
Right. Do we like lumpy gravy?
Nope.
Do we like lumpy mashed potatoes?
No.
No, we don't. Fantastic. So now here's the deal. The darker it gets in color, the more flavor, the deeper the flavor. So we can let this go a minute or so, get a little bit more color into it, but we do want to be stirring while it's happening. So let's go. Let's start adding some of our beautiful homemade stock. We'll go a little at a time. I have extra chicken stock standing by at the ready. So you add slowly to ensure no lumpage. Lumpage is bad. I should probably switch to a whisk at some point. Oh, so frickin' happy. You're probably gonna, I mean, look, depending on how thick you like your gravy, will depend on how much of the stock you're gonna add to it. This still has more to accept, in my opinion. But again, you're cooking for you, you know? If you like it thinner, then put way more in. But it will thicken as it heats here. Oh, we're doing some good work. Okay, I like to add a couple things at this point. Soy sauce, you know I'm a fan. Actually, I'm using soy paste, about a tablespoon. It will give it a little bit better hit of color, which for me is a good thing. It will give it more flavor and not in a soy sauce kind of way. So that's also good and important. Little salt and pepper. And then remember this, we want this in here too. Great. And last but not least, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. All right, let this warm away. You know what we're doing now? We're carving our spatchcock turkey. And we're back. It's rested. But you know, look, still a little bit warm, but remember something. You've got steaming hot gravy. Get the turkey done early enough that it has time to rest, and then you can carve it. You'll take a lot of pressure off yourself. Okay, so let's take them off of here. Hey, you. Hey, this won't be very elegant, but, and there we go, there's our friend. We'll call him, Tom, how's that? So, couple things we need to address. Legs, thighs, this breast. So I like to do this. I find it easier if I get the legs and the thigh off. And look, this kid is just giving up the ghost. I think that's the line. We'll separate these in a second. But just look how, I mean, there's almost no work to do here. It's unbelievable. The kid has carved himself. So let's do this. Let's take these legs off. And I find it's a bit aggressive, but I think this is like one of the easiest ways to do it. You twist a little bit, break some cartilage or whatever is in there. Find your little spot in here, and there's a drummy wing combo on that side. And we're off, so there's two. Now, you have options when it comes to the breast. You can go all Norman Rockwell and make slices like this, but I don't like that. I like to take the breast off whole and then cut it. So here's the breastbone here. We want to be on this side of it. You can kind of just follow it along underneath, and then we'll come back here. And when you've done that and you've been a good boy, what you get is a whole turkey breast like that. So look, this was a 10-pound turkey, not that huge, but, so I get this guy off. Look, there's still tons of meat on this for a sandwich, for picking later on, anything you want to do. So now carve these guys. So here's how I like to do this. Just nice pieces like this. One little piece of turkey. All right, so got my slate board right here. I'm gonna put these on. Let's go like this. We've got one. We can separate our pieces a little bit. Pretty. We can go this way with. Beautiful. All right. Now the leg thigh combo. Look, you can see there's a natural spot right here. Come down, you cut. And if you want to do that, you can see there's a socket there. And you've got a whole leg. Beautiful. Never can get this nice that I'm very happy with it. So we'll put a leg there. We'll put this leg here. So let me just give this kid a little business this way. Got this here. Now look, you've got the wings and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of these. I generally don't put these guys on the board. This is for coming in the kitchen after dinner and grabbing this and just gnawing on it, or for late night. So we've got our turkey. It's been carved. Our gravy's ready. I say we bring everything out and celebrate our Thanksgiving. Okay, ready? You want to see our good work today? Watch this. Didn't work. Here we go. It's got me in practice for real Thanksgiving. But here's the point. You guys can do this. We started at basically 1 o'clock today, and it's 4:15. This took 3 hours. Of course, this was brined in advance, but this didn't take much more than an hour to cook. Wasn't that huge a turkey, but still. You don't like carrots? Have Brussels sprouts or something. You don't like mashed potatoes? Well, how do you not like mashed potatoes? This is a nice setup. I think anybody would be happy with this. You could add those dinner rolls we made a few months ago that were fantastic. You know, you don't need a lot of appetizers because you got a lot of food to eat. So I guess I should have a bite, right? One little piece of turkey. I don't know if you can, it's just moist. I mean, it's tender, oh, stop now. All right. Listen to me now. You must brine your turkey. You must. That is fantastic. You know what else is gonna be fantastic? Sausage stuffing. Chance is really jazzed about this. Aren't you, Chancey?
I didn't know it existed.
It exists. Oh my God. There's something about cornbread and sausage. One year I made it with chorizo and it was delicious, but I cooked the chorizo in with all the vegetables, turning the whole thing red. It was the craziest looking stuffing ever. Oh, and by the way, difference between stuffing and dressing. Stuffing is stuffed in the bird, dressing's cooked on the side. We made dressing. Look, whatever you call it, just make it. Have a great Thanksgiving from all of us, boys, right?
Yes,
Happy
we're
Thanksgiving.
thankful for you.
We are thankful for you. Let us know how you did.